got some simple one-on-one moves that are unguardable for tight defense. Get out of here. Now the great thing about all these moves is you can do them in just one-on-ones, but they're also great in 5-on-5 games if you just caught the ball, you know, out on the perimeter especially, or even in 15-foot, possibly even in the paint. And they'll open up a lot of scoring opportunities for you. So a lot of people don't realize this, but defenders that like to play you tight, if you know how to handle them with like the moves I'm gonna give you in this video, it's like the best kind of defender to have because it's the perfect opportunity for you to get past them and beat them. If I got a defender, like she's way back here, and I start to move towards her, like she's got all this cushion, she can keep moving back, and it's really hard for me to get past her, right? Yeah, it'll open shot opportunities if you're a good shooter, but let's say you're not a good shooter, or you wanna mix your game up and start getting to the basket more so you can open up more shots, right? Because some defenders, they'll play like so they can just barely reach your belly button with their hand, arm's distance, and now like she's got enough space where I can't really get past her that easily, and it's hard for me to get the shot off because she can contest it, get a hand up there and block it, or at least get it in my face. When you've got these defenders that are aggressive, this is a good thing. You could set this up to try to get the defender to be aggressive by showing a lot of shot fake hesitations. You can do this off the dribble with shot fake hesitations, but most of these things I'm going to give you are off triple threat. So we want to do stuff like this. We want to kind of bait them to go for the basketball, right? By putting it around, oh, come get it, come get it, come get it, shot fake, right? Little things to get them to come towards you. So once I got her being aggressive, trying to go for the basketball, one thing I see players do all the time is this. Now, it's not something that you ever really see taught. Coaches always say triple threat, get it here, right? But if you watch like LeBron, Kyrie, Michael Jordan, you name the player, Kevin Durant, like they'll put the ball back here, so that gives them some protection, and now they can step in towards their defender with a pivot foot, whichever foot that may be. Now, what you do with that is big. So I got her coming for the basketball here. I can step in here. What are you gonna do? You're probably gonna jump back a little bit, right? Because you don't want me up in your space. So you're gonna jump back, give me a little space to work with. And then from there, as she's coming back, a lot of times I can get some shot opportunities. So let's look at that. You here, step forward, she jumps back, rise up. There, boom. You're in perfect control because you got the ball in both hands. All you got to do is push through here with this same foot. So you got the ball protected again, piece of cake. Another thing I can do is I can step in more to this side. Now she's probably going to jump that way, and I can swing it through and come to this side. Or I could come from this and just bring it over the top. Another thing that you can do to give yourself some room to breathe and really fake out your defender is to put the ball behind your back in a couple different ways. So the first way I'm going to show you is to basically have your hand on the basketball and then roll it in so it comes onto your forearm, and then really squeeze your hand to push it into the forearm to cuff it, okay? Now right now, even like my forearms are sweaty, so the ball is kind of slippery, so that might not be a good option. You know, it just depends on how big your hands are and how sweaty your arms are. But another option is to just put both hands on it behind the back like this. Now what I like to do with this is really mess with my defender. I'll kind of like put it from one hand to the other, I'll cuff it, I'll make her think maybe I'm gonna come this way, I'll do some of those little jab steps like we did with the tomahawk and all that. So now I can kind of get her jumping. Maybe I come here and she starts coming this way, and then boom, I can go into a crossover. A lot of times though, what I'll do is I'll sell like a fake here so she thinks I'm going into behind the back, so she tries to jump that way, and I can come here. So I could do that with, you know, that cuff, or I could do it with two hands behind the back. And one other thing I like to do to really like kind of mess with their head, if you get good at doing like your behind the backs and switching hands, so just practice this so you're good at it, I'll do stuff like this. Where's the ball, right? So then you can kind of mess with them and you can like go like this, and then I'll just like, you know, like put them to sleep with this, and then all of a sudden take a hard step to really make them think, oh, this is the move, and then boom. Pretty simple stuff if you got your behind the back down, but something kind of crafty that you can do. This is one that I see probably NBA players do a lot more than anything I can think of that isn't really taught by coaches. Kyrie, Michael Jordan, James Harden, I mean, you name the player, they do this. Jimmy Butler's another one too. So a lot of times when you're in this wide stance here, and sometimes I'll see guys do this if they got a defender that's really aggressive and going for the basketball, but sometimes I'll see the offensive player kind of get into their space, which, as we know from talking about earlier, opens up opportunities for me to get past her, Or again, if I'm like close to her and I sell a jab step and I'm close to this foot, she really thinks there's a chance I'm gonna beat her. So she's really gonna jump back far. And now I can create shot opportunity. So this kind of opens up all those possibilities. So all you're gonna do is get your feet nice and wide and then just bring the ball down here. Now, triple threat isn't really gonna protect the ball as good. Like, sure, I got both hands on it and I can be strong if she hits it, you know, maybe she won't necessarily steal it, but it can deter my next movement because I'm kind of bobbling the ball a little more. Sure, I can rip it through, but now it's just on the other side where she can get to it. So what you'll see a lot of guys do is come here and bring the ball under their legs and kind of back, almost like you're gonna hike the basketball, okay? And what that's gonna allow you to do is get in tight here. Like, she really has no path to get to the basketball, and if she does, I mean, she's gonna have to reach so bad that either A, she's gonna follow me by slapping me or something, or B, if she really goes for it, leaning forward, it's gonna put her a little off balance, right? Because she's leaning past her knee or over her knee, it's really hard to make any sort of a movement other than forward, so she might fall like right into me. But a lot of times what you'll see guys do is they'll step in here like this. So now look, really easy, right? I got her sealed, beat, game over. But the other thing is I can come from this, and if I take this step, what is she gonna do? Because she thinks I'm gonna beat her that way, step back, boom, easy shot. So no matter what she does, I got a way to beat her. Okay, next move is one that you used to see Michael Jordan do, T-Mac, nowadays Kawhi Leonard, but not everyone's got big hands and can palm the basketball really well, like even me. Kind of slips up. So what they would do though is they would hold the ball way out here where the defender can't get to it and kind of like wave it around and bait them to go for it, or just let them know like, yeah, you're not getting it, to kind of get in their head. So you can use it that way. It's kind of like an intimidation tactic, but you can also use it to try to get them to go for the basketball. But here's some ways you can do it where you don't need to palm the basketball. The first is to just simply have your hand and come under like this. Now you don't need to palm the basketball, right? You can kind of sell some fakes, move it around. Now make sure you're keeping good control over it. One thing I recommend, it won't let you extend it as much, but you get better control over it, is to, again, use that cuff like we do with the behind the back. Push it into that forearm. So now I've got a little bit better control. And if she comes for here, I can pop it behind the back. I can take a step here, make her think I'm gonna come here, get her to jump back. Boom, wide open jump shot. Step here, come back this way. You know, there's all kinds of options. One other way of going about this that's even better controlled, but not gonna give you as much reach, is to just have both hands on the basketball and putting, you know, waving it around. And now you can wave it around a little bit more, kind of like we did with the one hand palming it. But, you know, that's gonna give me these options to swing it over the top. I can go into my tomahawk. I can go into my between the legs, right? All those things you can kind of transition into with using two hands. And again, any of this stuff, like think about these like dribble combos. Don't look at it as just like, okay, that's one move I can do. No, like you can work on going from this one hand, and then I can go into a two-hand tomahawk. I can go into, you know, our regular triple threats and rip through, all that stuff, bring it down low. So everything's kind of an option to branch into with each other. This next one's kind of similar to the one that we did earlier, but it's a little bit more controlled, less flashy, less ball control needed and all that stuff. So you'll be able to add it to your game a lot more quickly. And all we're gonna do is just hold the ball with both hands behind the back. So now she can't get to it, and I can do all those same jab steps that we talked about before. The only thing now is I do have to make some sort of a switch if I want to try to like bring the basketball up into the tomahawk and do transitions like that, or come down low, put it between the legs, all those options. But I can just take advantage of this because now my body's protecting the basketball. She doesn't really know which way I'm going to go with it, and I can kind of swing it side to side like this. And from there, you know, it's pretty easy to just boom, push past and go. Another opportunity again would be just to step hard here so she jumps back, go into your shot. But one of the biggest things to keep in mind with this, and pretty much everything in this video, is you gotta be able to do something from this, right? As far as scoring the basketball, layups, getting your shot off, having the handles to take advantage of the help defense or even your defender. So you gotta have counter moves and your ability to score the basketball. All the playlists pinned to the top comment that will help you with all that stuff. Watch every single video in that. They will help you a ton, guaranteed. And of course, be sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications so you can catch all the newest videos the second they come out. If there's anything else you wanna see from the channel, first of all, check out my channel. I got thousands of videos, literally over 1,000. So I've covered pretty much anything you could think of. But if there's something I don't have, drop me a comment, let me know. And I'll see you in that playlist next. Make moves today.